I'm here at Tufts University in Medford, which is a suburb of Boston, and I'm here because there is a strike of students in solidarity with the janitors who are facing imminent layoffs. And this is an encampment of students.
We're doing a video. Hello? You said it was next to a stone building. This is the chapel.
Yeah.
That's stone building.
Yeah. Yep. My dad actually grew up. Oh, really? My mom's from Tufts. He grew up on Dungeon Ave. Right on. It's like a side street, but he lived right on the corner of Dungeon Ave. So is it more? Not super close. By a ballpark, by like a little league field where like has like a big brown like overhead thing. You know where like the commentators will say whatever. Yep.
Yeah, actually, I
Big
might know.
snack shack, like right across the street. Right across the street.
I just heard the rally was at 11:30 and probably go for an hour maybe or something like that. And it's been going on Sunday.
You know what?
Let the president know that people are aware of what's going on. This is going on everywhere, not just in Tufts, but cities and towns that try to privatize.
We'll make it happen. Which is already here. Oh wow. Hey guys, this trip is I think they can happen. I'd rather just
Well, these two people, who may be students, I'll ask them in a second, are sitting in front of one of the big banners in support of the janitors at Tufts. I wonder if who would like to go first?
Yo, Riz, take it. All right.
You? Okay. I wonder, could you please tell the people watching this video what someone needs to know who knows absolutely nothing about what's going on?
Absolutely nothing. Okay, so introductions. My name is Arismer Angeles. I go by Riz for short. I'm currently a freshman here at Tufts, and I'm one of the hunger strikers for the action that's going on now.
You are one of the hunger strikers?
I am.
Okay.
So we decided to conduct the hunger. So first, brief history. Last semester, we heard there were going to be some janitorial cuts, and we weren't okay with that. We had a sit-in in the administrative building, Ballou Hall. After that, we came to agreement with two of the admins, Patricia Campbell and Linda Snyder, which included having an open forum in late March and having bi-weekly meetings with them to be able to negotiate and come to compromises on how to having both sides be happy with the outcomes. Neither of those things did anything in the sense of having them think about making concessions, not even reducing the number of people they wanted to cut, which was 35 initially. Now, after a recent proposal that they've presented, it's been dropped to 20, but...
To 20 janitors being laid off?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
but we're still renegotiating that.
It's also the same number of work hours. They're just going to cut more full-time rather than part-time.
Yeah, their initial plan to cut 35 actually violated the contract that the union DTZ, the union SEIU has with the contract of DTZ. So that was a poor move on their part in the beginning, but now they're like trying to paint it in a way that makes them seem a little more benevolent, like by reducing it from 35 to 20. But we're conducting a hunger strike because we've conducted several other actions. Like I said, we had a sit-in. We've done several rallies around campus, off campus. About 2 weeks ago, students were arrested at a union student or rally that started in Davis Square down in Medford, and we had a silent rally during the unveiling of the Jumbo statue, and none of those had any effect on having them make any new decisions regarding the cuts. So we decided to escalate. We thought that a hunger strike was the most appropriate form of escalation, the most effective method of escalation. It's definitely been putting pressure on them. We don't know how effective the pressure is going to be.
How long have you been on the hunger strike now?
115 hours.
115 hours, so that's about 3-4 days.
Yeah, wow.
It's been a little while, we're a little hungry,
I
but
can imagine.
nothing too serious. We don't think. We had practitioners coming in, taking our vitals, making sure we're still in good condition, which we are.
Continue as long as you want, but I have some questions also to ask you.
This is like part of a broader escalation plan that we had, just going through the semester, and hopefully this is the last push we'll need to just make sure that these janitors are treated like the human beings that they are, not just like workers, like replaceable commodities.
How much support are you getting from other people, meaning both the janitors and the students on campus, and as well as others?
So the janitors are in full support. They are very, very worried though, considering that we're not eating. A lot of them think that it might not be worth it that we're putting our health on the line for them. I think it is. They've been through too much in this university, and for us to just go without food for a few days, I think is nothing compared to everything they've gone through collectively. In terms of student body, we do have a good portion of the student body that supports us. We do have students from other universities, faculty, professors. They found a petition. We have about 70 odd faculty members who've signed in support. We have facility workers who support us. Unofficially, we have the City Council of both Somerville and Medford, the aldermen. They've signed resolutions supporting our cause to keep the cuts from happening. Let's see, anyone else?
We got the building trades here today for you.
The trade union.
We're gonna
Sorry.
be here from here on out too.
Yes.
Now, the administration, what is their argument and what's wrong with it?
So they've been using the rhetoric of making these cuts for sustainability reasons, which is a little silly considering that the total square footage of the campus is increasing, which means that they're gonna need more workers to be able to have an effective leading force. Otherwise, they're just gonna have a very small number of workers here being overworked and doing very poor jobs. They're saying that because they're not the ones directly involved in hiring the janitors, because DTZ is the outsourced company, they don't really have a say, even though they are the ones providing DTZ with the budget. So in the end, it's up to them to either provide them with a budget that's large enough to sustain all the janitors, or a budget that would make it that would force them to get rid of at least 16 to 20% of their workforce. But it's been mostly just really cold, calculated, inhuman sort of rhetoric that's not they don't consider them people. They just think that these janitors are gonna be able. They're offering them temporary jobs for the summer for the ones they plan to cut, but then what happens to them afterward? they have to try. These people, the majority of them are immigrants. Immigrants from Latin America, Caribbean. A very large quantity of them are old, so in terms of getting hired again, that's going to be very difficult for them. They've been here for so long. They've been here since before they were outsourced, and it's a little disgusting to see how they just think that these people just don't, like, they're just like, oh no, like we just like get new people.
What percent of Bill Gates' personal wealth would it take to completely solve this problem?
So the cuts in total come to $900,000. Our school is sitting on a $1.6 billion endowment. Like our school president Anthony Monaco makes over $800,000. Linda and Patricia Campbell, like two others who are like pushing these cuts, together their salaries come to over $1 million. Like, it's top-heavy administration. Our school's sitting on a lot of money, and these workers have dedicated decades of their lives, literally worked through their prime to now with the school. And after investing these decades into building the school's success, our school's going, oh, well, we don't really feel it. And this is ridiculous because recently, even before these cuts were mentioned, workers were complaining about being overworked. Our school has more students than it ever did at any point before. It's increasing its square footage. And again, the workers are getting older. They're not able to work as fast. So when the workers came and said, hey, we need more help, Tufts responded by cutting 17% of their workforce.
Could I ask you a question about our PDR button?
Mm-hmm.
First of all, let me show the viewers the button. It says, let's remove the rich from power, have real, not fake democracy, with no rich and no poor. So, do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea?
That is.
I don't have a problem with having rich people in power, but they should represent like the portion of the populace they represent. 1% of which rich people can be in power, you know? 99% of us like be the rest.
What do you think?
I agree. I do agree with what he says, but I think becoming rich, it's really easy to be led astray, become corrupt, become greedy, and just get to the point where you don't think about anything but yourself and your success. So I do feel that maybe delegating in a way that's not so skewed, having the wealth be distributed so unevenly in this country would help remedy a lot of problems that we have.
You know, you made the point about 1% of the rich being in power, not all of them. I think you said something like that. The problem, in my view, is that money is power in our society. All the people who have $1 billion are much more powerful in our society than the ordinary people. I mentioned Bill Gates earlier. He's never been elected to any government position, and yet he has the dominant power and say over what's happening in American public schools, because he's the one with all his money that's controlling the people that are setting policy with the Common Core and the high-stakes standardized testing, and he was never even elected.
The amount of influence these people have is preposterous.
You know, and power is basically money. The people who have the money decide who's going to get laid off and who isn't. Mm-hmm. So in PDR we say no rich and no poor. That's the way it should be. Everyone would then be equal. You'd have real, not fake democracy. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Tufts has a pretty long history of mistreating its workers. In 1997, they outsourced to the company DTZ. When they did that, the workers lost their benefits. They lost the free tuition that was offered to their children. They lost a lot of their bargaining power. You see, because prior to this, the workers in their union could communicate directly to the administration. Now they have to communicate to DTZ, which is the outsource company, but the DTZ doesn't have the decision-making power. The administration has decision-making
Right, so it gives
power.
everyone an excuse.
Yeah.
It's not,
so there's no
not my problem.
transparency, no accountability.
That was why they outsourced in the beginning.
Yeah.
It's like it just used them as a body shield if anything happened. It's like, oh, we're fighting janitors. Oh, not our fault. DTZ is the one reorganizing the plan and deciding who gets laid off.
It's kind of a shame too, because again, we have a really successful, fairly wealthy school, and it has it really preaches its commitment to active citizenship and to fostering a better democracy. And I think for the faculty, that's really true. But right now, our administrative practices are in line with a much more corporate, unjust system. Yeah.
Well, thank you. And again, if you wanted to add anything, you're welcome. Or you want to call it an interview?
No, I think we touched pretty much
Covered
on
everything? Covered
That
everything?
was, thank you.
Thank
for
you very
coming out
much, and I
here.
wish you nothing but success in this effort. I think it's quite inspiring. When I read about it in the Globe, you know, I thought this is wonderful, and that's why we're here interviewing you all. So good luck and congratulations for doing such a wonderful thing.
Thank you.
Take care.
My name is Mark O'Toole. I'm with the Insulators Local 6 out of Boston, Mass. We're here in support of the janitors, fighting for a contract, fair wages, benefits, good standard of living. They're not asking for too much, and we want the president to know that we will support them from here on out, right through. The building trades will have their back. We'll be here whenever they are here, whenever we can be here. There's the sheet metal workers are here, the insulators, the pipe fitters, the plumbers, local 12, pipe fitters, local 537, sheet metal workers, local 17, and the insulators, local 6. And I think Tufts gets enough money from their tuition to make this contract happen. It's a shame that it has to come to a situation like this where people are actually putting their health in jeopardy, but sometimes you got to take a stand, and this is what's going on. And we should have the president from the Boston Building Trades here, Brian Doherty, and he can give you a little more.
Thank you. We in PDR Boston, we have a button that says "Let's remove the rich from power."
That's great. That's great. I love it.
Have real, not fake democracy.
Could I have one of those?
Yeah, and with no rich and no poor.
Hey, you know, the divide is so vast right now. We don't know if we'll ever get it closer again, but we're going to start to work at it.
Did you say you like a button?
I'd love a button.
Here you go.
Thank you very much.
May I swing the camera around and take your images?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
He's the best.
These are some other gentlemen that came with the person that I was just interviewing. And can I ask you the same question? What do you think about this button?
I love it. I'll check one too.
You like it?
Yep. Thank you.
You want one too?
Yes.
There you go. Thank you. You like one?
Yeah, thank you.
Here you go.
Sorry, Tom.
Can I tell you something interesting about this button?
Go ahead.
The ideas in it, I asked people on the street interviews all around Boston, what do you think about this button? And those interviews are videos online. If you go to pdrboston.org, you'll see some of those videos, and then the link to the channel, the YouTube channel, you'll see more. And practically everybody feels exactly the same way you do. But no one knows that it's a majority of us that feel this way, because you turn on the TV and the radio and you get your magazine, and you never see ordinary people expressing these ideas. And that's, of course, not an accident. The rich who control the media don't want us to know that we're a majority in feeling this way. So one of the things we do in PDR Boston is try to let people see you're not alone. You're actually the majority, and you can start to organize and act the way people act when they are the majority and they know it. So thank you very much. We'd like any of you to add anything?
He's the
No?
best spokesman.
Okay. Thank you very much, and super thank you for supporting the janitors here.
Okay. Good luck.
Hi. Hi, hi, hi.
My name is Adelaida Colon. I'm working for DTC in Tufts University for 18 years. I'm
Excuse
here.
me, is DCT, what is DCT?
DTC, this is the company working in Tufts University. This is contractor. I'm working here for 18 years, and I'm here today because the Tufts, he wanted a car, 35 people put it outside, lost the job. And I try to respect for the community.
And do you want to tell our viewers anything about what you're doing to try to stop the layoffs?
Yes, he want to put 35 people and lay off, and that's impossible because the rest of the people stay here like me. I'm working here for 18 years. The job for these people living, I'm supposed to do that. That's too much. In 2011, he put 64 people out ready, and that 64 people is only 4 people working again. The rest of the people is out.
What will happen if the layoffs occur as far as the cleanliness of the campus?
The campus not be like now. The campus is clean everywhere. And I think if they put 35 people out, he can do the same job.
So it'll get dirtier?
Dirty and dirty and dirty because it's impossible to do that.
Yeah. I'm from PDR Boston. That stands for People for Democratic Revolution. We have a button and it says, let's remove the rich from power, have real not fake democracy with no rich and no poor.
Okay.
You think that's a good idea?
Good idea. The same, only one class.
Lots of people think it's a good idea.
Yeah, it's true.
No classes.
Or no classes. One class or no classes.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
Like a button.
Oh, thank you so much.
Here's the button, and it's got our webpage on it.
Thank you so much.
I'm sorry it's not in Spanish yet,
No problem.
but
I try to
maybe
do
you
it.
know someone who would help us get it written in Spanish. We would love to do
Yes.
that.
Okay.
But it's very serious, and I think you'll
No.
find it enjoyable to read.
Thank you for your time.
Thank
you
you,
so
and
much.
good luck.
I appreciate your help.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Mi nombre es María Alvarado. Estoy pidiendo justicia para nosotros trabajadores, porque nosotros los ganamos el sustento trabajando dignamente y honradamente. Por eso le pedimos al presidente y a toda la organización que nos permita trabajar y que den una decisión para que nuestros estudiantes no estén ahí aguantando hambre. Muchas gracias. Thank you so much.